Thank you for joining us today here on Winging It, Unscripted Conversations with the Hot Springs community, broadcasting from National Park College. The intent of this NPC podcast is to have informal conversations with different community members as a way of understanding their work in our region and highlighting their connection with the college. Hello all, I'm your host, Dr. Wade Derden, President of National Park College, and I'd like to welcome Jeannie and Saddiq Mir, owners of J&S Hospitality Group. If you're local to Hot Springs, then you probably are familiar with some of the businesses they own. The Ohio Club, J&S Italian, the Copper Penny Pub, and most recently, Indulge downtown. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We're honored to be at your show.
Well, great. This is our second go-round, and I appreciate you taking a chance on it.
No.
Absolutely.
I thought I would just start with a question about how you came to be in Hot Springs and how long you've been here.
So that's a really interesting story, how we're here. Just prior to that, I'll go back to coming to Hot Springs. My wife and I just opened the largest resort hotel for Marriott Hotels in Denver, Colorado, called Gaylord Rockies. And that took about 2 years to build a hotel, start, open. I oversaw the food and beverage operations. Jeannie oversaw catering, sales operations. And we were quite tired after long hours for a couple of years. And we said, well, when you take some time off, don't want to do open hotel, don't want to go anywhere. We like Denver. Well, sure enough, a week later, I get a call from a recruiter who want to talk to me about some opportunity. Talked my ear off about, the ownership and the fourth generation, the horse track, and all the history. And I kind of got my attention, but not all the way. And I said, we just opened a hotel. My wife and I retired. I only want to invest into a new journey for us. 2-3 weeks later on, same person called. They said, well, somehow I slipped your resume by mistake, and they really like your resume. I said, oh, sure, bye. That was pretty convenient. So finally, we agreed to have a conversation with Oakland. And we chatted for a while, and I think we connected to the phone, and he asked me when can I come out, and I flew out with no expectation, not knowing too much. But I did ask beforehand to say, where is Hot Springs, by the way? And the lady told me, well, in the state of Arkansas. And I said, well, if I ask where the state of Arkansas, I would sound pretty stupid, actually, right? So I looked at the states, and she said, well, it's 4 hours from Dallas. I said, that makes sense. Okay. Agreed to come out here. Liked everybody, got the tour, spent time with the executive committee in Louisville. And I said, but honestly, I'm not sure where I stand with this because it's a small city. My wife and I have always lived in big cities, California to, Dallas to Denver and Vegas, big fast-moving cities. And, one of the things about history is most people work in big hotels. Next step, next big resort, for us was a little different opportunity to step back. We realized that once Jeannie came out and spent time, we had a dinner nighttime, and actually most of the time her and Wayne Smith had up talking over dinner. And it was all about going back and forth about things. And Jeannie is actually, always tell she's very frank, very direct, and asks a lot of questions. And next day I flew back and I called Wayne Smith. I say, I didn't talk about an interview, some more about the job. He said, don't worry, but we all done. You hired. He said, Jeannie, I made the decision. So that was really funny how exactly everything ended up. And obviously she felt comfortable. Goal for me was that she feels comfortable. She had a big job she will have to give up. And we didn't think about it twice. I think we saw, it's like anybody else coming in a smaller town, seem a little bit slow. My thing is always I've traveled. I live like gypsy in my life. I always kind of person to say, if I'm good as I think I am, I need to go and fix that place and do something different, bring it up. And that has been my career all along, pretty much. I've been recruited to go fix things. Right. So this was a different opportunity. Smaller town. So 5 years ago, in late March when I actually arrived to Hot Springs. Right. And that was pretty much it. And then Jeannie has finished up her job in Denver. A few months later, she joined me, and we leased an apartment for a while, for about a year. Then we ended up buying home, and as we live in your neighbors now in Red Oaks. Red Oaks.
That's right. Full disclosure, we're neighbors.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What led you to invest, I guess, after the Oakland wrapped up, what led you to invest in the businesses like J&S Italian and the Ohio Club and such?
Well, it's a great question. In this industry, hospital industry, we move a lot and get recruited, as I mentioned, in any job. And I was being recruited again. And my wife and I just talking and realized that we fell in love with this community. And quite honestly, the credit goes to all our friends like you, all people we met. We found the community was very kind to us, very nice to us, to Jeannie, a lot of wonderful ladies like Audrey and Katie that took her under her wing and introduced everybody. And that was, for me, the biggest part, to say, how are we going to feel comfortable? How are we going to feel? And we realized There's a lot of love and care in this town that people have shown us. And why I want to make a big point saying that we live in Vegas, we live in Denver, and you're lucky if you know your neighbors. Mm-hmm. Everybody's busy, and best thing you say, hi, hello. Well, quite the opposite. When we moved into Red Oaks, there's a flowers on our doorstep. So there's a bottle of wine, there's a welcome note, and all. There's a fresh made pie. And that really got our attention to say this has something to say about life. We went out for dinner one night and we said, well, let's talk about business before I really get into my other interviews out of town. Well, we saw a sign JNS. Now, mind you, we have been there before. I brought several candidates to interviews. I go JNS. I never thought about our names. So my lovely wife says to me, look, JNS. I say, yeah, I see it. I didn't pay any attention. She says it again. I'm like, okay, yeah. Well, third time she said, I looked at her. I said,
had to nudge her really hard.
I can't. I say, I don't get it. I just feel stupid. Exactly. So we put at the point you're trying to make. And she goes, JNS, Jeannie and Saddiq. Oh, my God. I hit my forehead. I said, okay. I said, well, I guess it's meant to be.
It was a sign.
Yeah, so it's meant to be. Because we've been there several times, never thought about it, never paid attention. While we're talking about everything, timing was just perfect. And we said, well, let's go in there and see if they want to buy. Yeah. We investigated who owned it, all that. Before you know it, we were in it and we were buying JNS. Yeah. So how JNS Hospitality formed, because we both are very passionate about service. We both love what we do. She worked at Gaylord Hotels catering events, and she was a queen of catering events and everything. Everything has to be impeccable. And I think that's what makes hospitality really fun. You get to do a lot of fun things to please people. That's what it's all about. Our background in hospitality is pretty intense I don't want to give her age, but mine over 25, 30 years. In 25, 30 years of experience living, San Francisco, working at 5-star hotels, 4 seasons. I feel I'm very blessed with that deep-rooted hospitality knowledge to just please people. Right. And I think at times we make it too complicated. And for us, when we said open hospitality, it's easy for us. We're very passionate. Mm-hmm. It's easy for us to articulate to staff. And that's why if you go to JNS, so if you haven't been there, you should, that you'll feel the love and the service details. Right. And that comes very natural to our staff. And we're very humble and honored to have some wonderful staff. And we hire staff with not too much experience. We prefer somebody with less experience. So we can coach you, we can train you, we can teach you what true hospitality is all about. Simple example I give you, we had a hot spring gourmet food and wine dinner last night at the JNS. And we had amazing compliments and everything. We did that dinner for about 6 months ago, and we were told that's the best they have in 40 years. And what does that mean? We provided something that everybody loves. Right. We provided the service, we provided the trendy food, and we provided something that was impeccable. So I think that's what attracts us, what we want to do. JNS is a different concept, right? So we told you to model that. We want to offer something upscale. I feel we have a wonderful places in Hot Springs, bottom casual, and that's their style. I learned in this community that they have a lot of wonderful people. They enjoy high-end restaurants, high-end service. They talk about it. I hear all the time. So we are very motivated to offer that to our guests locally, out of towns, people out of states, and that's our goal. I'll give a different example, Ohio Club. Now, Ohio Club is the most historic place. Right. So what do you do with that, right? So we always have to go in and dissect and pay attention to what guests are looking for. Guests come there for one thing. They heard about the historic place. While that historic place is not going to be very popular if you don't have great food and great service. So I call that balance, and you must have no matter what. So since we have bought, we invested into very first thing, an experience for the guests. We call every server, they are storytellers. We told them that here are the 15 steps or 19, you must memorize these. And why is that? Because it was not being done beforehand. So now, for the first 30 days, I listen, and people are talking about, it's the most historic place. And everybody say, I read it in the menu, it's right on the back. I tell you what, I'm in this business, I don't read menus. I read 2 lines and I'm done. While we train our staff, the first thing you start is you, welcome to Hot Springs, you're welcome to Ohio Club. Have you been here before? No, well, allow me to share the story with you. So we have fascinating stories from the bar back to the history of Hot Springs. And so we fell in love with Hot Spring history also, and that's what we will promote. So today we have made some slight changes that it's not a dive bar, it's an historic bar. Mm-hmm. People's impression was that before, we want to take to the next level, the most historic bar, but it's maintain its service levels of food quality and all of that ambiance. So therefore, when someone we take on, we put our heart and soul into making a pleasant experience. Yeah, we don't mind people say, we can't get in, too busy. Well, we try to accommodate everybody, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the line out in the street a few times.
Yeah.
So I understand. Well, Jeannie, I want to give you an opportunity maybe to speak about your newest
Oh, my
venture,
goodness.
Indulge, and,
It's all about pink.
and,
Yeah.
and maybe what's coming.
Well, you can't miss it on Central. We're in the Dugan Stewart building, which is obviously a historic building as well. That's where they have the underground bowling alley, and the remnants are still there, and it's so cool. They still have the high scoring scoreboard up, and it's really cool. I hope someone buys the building and does something really neat to it. But you can't miss it. It's black and white stripes. We tried to do pink, but Saddiq's like, well, I got to add some masculine colors in there. But we serve a sweet and savory crepes. We have warm cookies, cotton candies, snow cones, a full espresso bar. And in phase 2, we're working on a secret room in the back. It's going to be really cool. I don't want to
Almost ready.
Almost ready.
Oh, I'm
Yes. We'll
excited.
just call it the courtyard at Indulge. And it's a secret room in the back.
Well, I'm excited about all that.
Yes.
And then you have the Copper Penny as well, which I've actually played music at the Copper Penny many
Oh,
years
You
back.
have?
Kidding, really? Oh, I need to bring the nostalgic history back, the musicians of history.
That was before you all took it over, but
Right.
that side of me has kind of petered out over time. But
You're too busy now.
I've played a few shows there.
Well, we need to bring you back. Bring that back out.
So what's next for JNS? You've got, of course, the Indulge back room, but what else? And what's next for you all?
Well, that's a great question. We have a mindset of growing our company for several more concepts. A couple concepts that will be up and coming very soon in downtown. So our goal is to offer, since we have learned the city, we pay a lot of attention to historic society, we pay a lot of attention to tourists coming in our town. And what, in my humble opinion, the most traffic is summer families. They are well-traveled people. They want to come in, have a good time, enjoy, spend money. So I feel that we learn about city. City needs more restaurants. They cater to families. There's a space to cater. If you go downtown right now, if downtown gets busy, we have Superior Cafe, we have Ohio Club, we have Copper Penny, we have several other restaurants, but families are just standing out there lining up, DeLuca's, all those places, but nothing's really just family food. So when we look at it, say, style of this city, 100 years old historic history. There'll be some diners, there'll be some restaurants, they have a historic people can relate to. 50 years ago, I used to go to this so place, so place. So that's our focus.
Right.
To make sure everybody coming in town, they feel comfortable and they have something very affordable and something very easy to get in and out. Also, there's no place downtown today if you want to go just meet somebody downtown to have coffee and a conversation. Every place we know is loud, it's not good for discussion there. So we want to open a concept that will be almost like a internet lounge. You can have coffee or breakfast in the morning time, afternoon. You can have some great sandwiches, and in the afternoon, some entertainment. Like we like to do entertainment at our restaurants, and some great wines and champagnes and cocktails. As we go downtown, we do meetings, we do interviews all the time. Even our own restaurants are really loud, and it's not a really business environment when you do that. So our offer something is very, very unique, very different. You know, we get to call a lot of wonderful people if you want to buy the business. Our style is we never say no. Jeannie always laughs at me, and I just say, well, I'm just listening. I didn't say yes or no. Business opportunities there, and I see what is in it. You know.
Right.
So overall goal is honestly to any venue we own, it needs to be a touch of class, meaning service has to be the very highest focus and the quality of food. Ambiance has to be very friendly, very inviting, and that's how we treat our people. We treat our people, our staff like a family. Try to do lots of personal training that we feel very important that teach young people hospitality.
And this is what you refer to as unreasonable hospitality, right?
Well, thank you for bringing that up. I can lead on to that. I think people think hospitality is complicated, hospitality is difficult. There's a gentleman who's writing articles about that in New York, and he was listed once upon a time top 50 restaurant in New York, and that's an amazing honor to get there. But he's been writing about it, and I 100% agree with him, is if you go step beyond, let's say you're traveling with a family, you're traveling with a loved one, and you have some special moment, if somebody comes in, does something, it's above and beyond, but where there's a work scope, I call that unreasonable hospitality. When people aren't expecting something, you do it, that creates an experience, and that creates memorable time for people to remember. But it doesn't take too much to create that experience. Genuine smile, no mistakes, pay attention to what we're doing, serve your needs, not the restaurant needs. And what does that mean when I say that? I'm defining that. A lot of time restaurateur people have certain rules. The rules are very rigid. Chefs make food and they say, oh, don't compromise, no substitutions. We are the way around. Our style is, answer is yes. That's my leadership style. Answer is yes. What is the question? That means in the vocabulary. We don't want to know in there because answer is yes. You walk in a restaurant, walk in a bar, we're here to please you. And once you have that attitude, that style, I call that unreasonable, meaning you don't have to think about it twice. But people call unreasonable as people think, oh, that person is so picky, or that person is so complaining. I call it that person, he or she knows what they want. Our job is to deliver that. That's very simple. We can do anything no matter what. We live our life that way. I think that's probably the best thing we bring to Hot Springs, that people come here and leave, all those thousands, millions of people. We want them to go talk about the service they receive and the love they receive from the city, and people say, welcome you. I tell you, I lived in Europe, grew up like a gypsy. I lived in many different countries. And 15 years ago, some of the countries were not very friendly. And in France, for instance, and you didn't speak French, when you talk to them, they will reluctant to help you. But if you spoke their language, they will help you. But I tell you what, 15 years later when I traveled, went back to Italy and France, everything has changed. They realize how important the tourism is. Now English is a compulsory second language. Everybody speaks English to help you. And I think Hot Springs, we all need to be just beyond friendly to make sure when families here traveling, we are thankful that we have the business. And that's what we bring. We are very thankful when somebody walks in restaurants. And we honored when somebody goes to 2 or 3 restaurants when they're here 3-4 days. Right. So that happened to us all the time, and we want to continue to grow more great experience.
Well, I personally love what you've been doing and what you both have been adding to the community. My wife and I, we enjoy going downtown. I know there are some people in the community who just kind of don't go down there if they can help it, especially during race season. But my wife and I are kind of people watchers. We like to go.
Well, you can walk around and enjoy it.
See what's going on and watch people. And we enjoy watching the families. And I do appreciate the comment you made about families in particular. I mean, we have great restaurants, but they're not necessarily friendly for a family, a large family in particular. So I get that. Jeannie, you're a member of our foundation board here at NPC.
Yes, I am.
And I'm just curious maybe what led you to take on that role?
Oh, my goodness. Well, when we first moved here, Saddiq was involved with the college. Mm-hmm. And what inspired me is when we came and actually took a tour of your hospitality department. Mm-hmm. And I was just floored and amazed. The kitchen, the students here, the opportunity that they have to learn. And I just wanted to be involved and hopefully try to grow that just a little bit. Even if I made a difference in 1 or 2 students, that would really satisfy me. And I love what you guys do. You have a great team here.
Well, I appreciate that, especially about the hospitality program. Saddiq probably remembers where it was originally located. The kitchen was so small we couldn't get all the students in it at one time.
Absolutely. I remember that 5 years ago.
And so thanks to Oaklawn Foundation, we've been able to remodel that facility, and it really is excellent. And that's a program that we're constantly looking at and talking about and wanting to make investments, make modifications to it. So we're excited about the future there as well. Well, I really appreciate you both taking time to speak with me today and to join us on Winging It. If, we can ever do anything to help you out here at the college, of course, we want to. And I think I speak for the whole community. We appreciate what you're doing in the community and your thoughtfulness about hospitality and just adding to the community.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I would like to add comment. I was introduced to National Park College when I got here, and I was very impressed with the program and how focused were the whole community. Your leadership was to go further in education and hospitality. I've been part of that since then. Thank you for allowing me to come in. I was quite engaged, actually, Denver, on the hospitality school there. I was quite a regular speaker there for hospitality. I feel that's my passion, that's my love. Mm-hmm. So if I had anything I could do for National Park College here to come and attract people or speak to students when they come in and whatever, I'm at your service, because I feel we need more hospitality students. We need more people to learn what hospitality is all about. Anything we do in serving one another, that's hospitality.
Right.
I simplify that quite a bit. But we thank for National Park College, and amazing, so many wonderful basketball team and all. And
yes.
Students can come from all over the world. I think we need to talk more about bringing more students, because this is our community is growing. We all need to support National Park College to make sure that's known out there.
Well, I really appreciate that. I just want to say again, thank you for being here today, Saddiq and Jeannie. Really appreciate you, appreciate your support for the college and everything you are doing for the community. And thanks to all of you for listening to Winging It. New episodes are released every month. Until next time, this is Dr. Wade Derden reminding you there is a place for all of you at National Park College.